time of the week again. Prepare yourself for the surveyors of sauce, the sultans of spaghetti, the whispers in your ears. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the What's Your Spaghetti Policy podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Alex and Jakub.
Sit there and tell me that you've never lost control of your face. Like you've never, there's never been like
involuntarily, no.
Yeah, just
I don't
like
think so.
like you taking a big poopy. You're just like it's like not a hard one, right? It's not a painful one, right? Like just one that is it's been building for a while, and it's like that good feeling. It comes out of you.
I drink too much coffee and have too much fiber for that to be a problem.
But I'm saying like there's never been that like moment for you. Never like maybe you held your pee for a really long time, like a road trip, and you're like I don't want to make any stops because I'm trying to get home before 8 o'clock.
I've done that, just like a sigh of relief of but I've never just like had this weird contortioned face.
Dude, there's been several times where just like, I don't know what it is. Maybe you've been holding it for an hour or two, and you're just like,
is that the face you make when you jerk off?
I don't make faces when I jerk off, dude. That'd be weird.
You just sit there and stare at it and like just look at it.
You know, that's why if I was on a reality TV show or like the Truman Show or whatever, like it'd be the lamest show ever. I don't even know, man.
Would you do the thing where like you do it like feverishly, like
and stare into the camera,
or would you do it like real slow?
Well, I feel like if you're doing it slow,
which one's creepier?
Slow creepier, because you're not doing it for pleasure. You're just doing it to be creepy, right? Because it's like because there's not enough friction there. Like there's not
the race, I guess.
I don't, man. It takes a certain kind of person. I don't know how you are with your climaxing and whatnot, but like it takes more than just
with your clients. I'm like,
I don't know how you are with your clients. You know how you're always jerking them off like slow and whatnot, but I can't do it. I can't reach climax all slow and shit. Like
you don't climax at all. We've already been over this.
Yeah, dude. I like to edge myself all the time, just 24/7. So,
I have my old man yelling at the clouds moment. You ready?
Okay, yeah, let's hit it. What you got?
Things that irritate me now with apps.
Okay.
And it's that everything has a fucking leaderboard and something where you have to like connect to your friends, and it's like, oh, be the best of the day, like fucking Duolingo and shit. And
it is 100%. I don't know if you know this, a tactic to keep you playing the fucking app. Like
I know what it is, but like, you know, you have like an app for, you know, cooking or whatever, and you're sharing recipes, and it's just like, share this many recipes, be the
fuck you, don't tell me what to do. Fuck
like,
you.
I'm sure it's on Etsy too, right? Like I'm sure there's like little badges and achievements and sort of shit, and it's just like, oh my god, can I just like not?
But I wish that was the only thing that I had to deal with. But my old man's yelling at the clouds moment happened literally yesterday, sitting in the Sonic parking lot, ordering some drinks up for the kids. Right, we're getting
first mistake was going to Sonic.
Yeah, I know. I haven't been in a hot minute, like maybe a month or two.
There's a reason.
Yeah,
a month, bro. Couldn't tell you last time I went to Sonic.
We go every occasionally. The kids like get slushies and whatnot. So that's what we were doing last night. Every occasionally we'll get a slushie or two. That's what we were doing last night. I put in that order for a slushie. You know what I got after I put in that order? I placed that $5 order. You know what I got?
A cheeseburger.
Not one, not two, but I got 3 push notifications. Not even push notifications. I couldn't exit the fucking app because it kept saying, would you like to sign up for Sam's Club credit card? Would you like to sign up for... I was just like, I legit... if there was a way to personify the app, bring it into humanhood, give it a social security card, give it a soul, whatever you will say, and then throw that off the bridge, I would have fucking done it in a heartbeat. Get the fuck out of here. Let me close the app. Let me make my purchase. Just let me check in. God, I was so angry, man.
I know, like, there are moments that I get. There's that, like, in the most recent season of Sunny where Dennis walks in and it's just that whole idea. He's like getting a boba tea or something. And he's like, I just want to order a boba tea. And they're like, well, we don't take cash or card. You have to pay on the app.
Yeah.
And like, he just goes fucking insane.
And I get it.
And I'm like, and I do get it. And I think like we always talk about our generation being weird, and it's like because we are in that in between where with the internet, like we grew up and we know what life is like before then, and then it's just like everything has moved to again death by apps, right?
Yeah.
And it's like
It, it feels like
like every time I go to
we're
Taco
reaching
Bell,
some point. I don't know
yeah.
what it is.
Now, I have fully integrated into the Taco Bell system where it's just like I have my account, I order it from my phone. It's right down the street. I will order it, pick up in store. I don't go to the fucking drive-thru because they trap you because you
Yeah.
can't get out.
That's a thing we don't talk about enough. Is the fact that like
Can't
because
get
there's
out.
the other one close to back where I used to live that was on the good one, right? That we always go to. You get in there, it doesn't matter
You're
what
stuck.
happened, you're stuck.
If someone's behind you, you are done.
Yeah, no, you're not getting out of there.
And you're sitting in the drive-thru for 35 minutes.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
you are fuming pissed.
And it's like you
by the
have to
time
get
the
something at that
order.
point. Yeah, like you have to get something because it's like it'd be stupid for you to get stuck in this line and not get anything out of it. Like you're gonna get up to the window and
Absolutely.
drive off. Like it's weird. But anyways, you're
But
saying
no, so like every time I order it from the app, I'll order it to pick up in store. And for some reason, I have better luck than Christina when that happens. Like they're just like super slow for some reason. When she picks it up, I walk in, it's like ready to go, pick it up, go. Now, past couple like out of the last 4 times we've ordered, 2 times the order's been incorrect. Either they forgot something or they gave us something they weren't supposed to, sort of thing. But I love going in there, and anytime I have to wait, because then you'll get people. Because like ours is nothing but kiosk.
yeah.
There's a kiosk at the front, and then there's 2 right when you walk in, and like you just walk in, and like there's always somebody who acts like they haven't been to a fucking Taco Bell in like 30 years.
Yeah.
And not only that, they throw a fucking fit
Because it's not a real person?
because no one comes to take their order.
I get it.
Even though
I get it.
even though like there's like 4 or 5 kiosks right there for you to do it, and they just stand there.
I mean, like
And then they'll,
dude,
then they'll do that thing you can't see. You can't if you're listening to the podcast, but they'll do that thing.
where they look around, like yeah, very clearly they
And they
want
try to
somebody
get
to talk
because
to.
you
Yeah,
can you can see the kitchen and you can see them making the orders and stuff, and they know they're busy making food,
yeah.
and like they're just like they're they're huffing and puffing, and then like I get my food and I leave, and like they're mad as shit because it's like.
This kid, who's this jabron?
Well,
Yeah,
because
where
a
did he
lot
get
of
his
times
food? Yeah.
it'll be like I come in after that person's already standing in the line. I'll get my food. I'm gone before they
Hey.
take their order. And I do get it. I do get it. But it's just like, what can you do?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing.
nothing. It's like, that's why I felt so helpless yesterday when I was like looking at the Sonic. I got they wanted me to get Apple TV. They wanted me to get Sam's
insane.
membership, and they wanted me to get it's another subscription. I forget fucking what
Sam's.
No, it's
Apple.
Sam's, Apple, and it was like another TV or some shit. It's not I can't think of the third one, but 3 of them right in a row. I was like, no.
That's crazy.
And I
man.
was just like,
off a fucking Sonic app.
I was so mad. I was like, I didn't show it obviously because my
That-
kids are in the car and my wife was there and she would think
just
I was insane. But it's just like
dying inside.
I was just what the fuck is going on? Like what
the
are we doing?
rage inside of you.
And like what do you and that moment like what do you okay so say I get mad, I throw my phone, I delete the app. Like it doesn't do shit. Like they're still gonna do it. There's gonna be hundreds of thousands of other people who get on that app today and purchase something from Sonic. Probably not that many.
I mean, it's like Wendy's, dude. Like you flat out quit eating Wendy's. I don't think I've had Wendy's either since they tried that bullshit.
I have not legitimately. This is not like
Same,
hyperbole.
same.
Like I legitimately have not been back to a Wendy's, and it's
I don't miss it.
solely. I'm Wendy's CEO out there. It's solely because of that piece of shit and like his surge pricing that he tried to gaslight us to say about the fucking when it was on a fucking like earnings call talking about like surge pricing and shit. Like get out of
I
here.
feel like that was over a year ago, right?
At least.
I feel like they were. Again, I feel like it was ahead of the times. Like that's something that if they did, because you saw the whole thing.
Yeah.
With what's that food service? DoorDash, where you can fucking finance a burrito, dude.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm not smart
Like,
enough to know
everyone's-
where we're headed, but I know it's not good. And we don't have the audience for it. We don't have there's no way that I make any kind of impact, but I just know that we're like straight up a cliff, and like here's the edge of it, buddy, and I don't know
Oh,
what's gonna happen.
I think we're closer to the edge than you.
Yeah,
than you're
probably
leading.
so. We're,
I
I mean,
think we're
again, we're
edging,
seven. We
bro.
are literally 7 seconds to midnight, you know, and we're fucking edging the hell out of our end
And it's just like,
times. So
it's like you outside perspective. Like you take a step back, and it's just like, if you have to finance your Taco Bell,
it's not sustainable.
fundamentally there's something wrong with society.
And
Not it's like, oh well, you need to, no, it has nothing to do, like, that does not come back on the consumer. That means that your prices are too high and that people don't make enough money to fucking afford dinner.
And it's
That they have to
so
finance a
sad.
burrito.
Like it's not.
We talk about dystopian future
Yeah.
shit, but like
We are
dystopian to when I hear, yeah, right. Like I don't think we can use that word anymore because dystopian implies that like it's in the far future. We're here.
Yeah, we've reached
We're
dystopian.
here.
Like, there's a whole subreddit about dystopian futures and whatnot. No, it's like we're here. We made it.
Like,
We did it, guys. We got here.
There's, we talked about, all the things about, oh, we can clone these things. Oh, no, but we can't fix Earth, right? It's why everybody wants to go to Mars. It's why they just had this entire thing, this all women's blue bonnet flight or whatever, or blue bunny. I don't know what it was.
And I
called.
don't mean to be sexist.
Blue Horizon or something. And it's like they were in space for like 14 minutes.
I
okay?
don't mean to be sexist. It's always something
No,
somebody
no,
says right
no.
before they're extremely sexist. But no, I mean, like, I didn't hear anything about it, and I blame society. So
Dude, it's just another one of those things where you see a bunch of rich people, a bunch of one percenters that are pointing at you. Literally, they are above you. They're like, we can go. It cost $1 million a minute that they were in space. And I think it was like $14 million.
I'm just glad that there's nothing else that we could do with that money, and that like we've solved all the world's problems. We've
And,
solved
like,
hunger. We've solved all these things, and like there's no reason like that's just funny money to them.
Obviously,
you know?
I'm not on social media as much as I used to be. So like I'm not terminally online. So I don't know what the reaction has been. I can't imagine that people are impressed. I can't imagine, like, I'm sure there's like a whole subsection of like, well, did they even go, blah blah blah, because you always got those people.
Yeah.
But this would have been a big deal 20 years ago, but I think we're all just like, who gives a shit? Like, who gives a shit?
I don't even
You were
think
in
20
space for
years
14
ago
minutes,
it
who
would have been a
fucking
big
cares?
deal. I think 20 years ago it would have been a big deal
No,
because the fact that like they were millionaires going to space, and like, but now it's just like
Well, it's just like
they're just prepping for the end times. and
It's tone deaf.
Yeah.
It is. And like, it's not to say that, hey, like, do whatever you want, but it's such a flaunting of like wealth that you can do these things, and it's literally something that the normal human will never obtain. Like,
Yeah.
will never. And it's not to say that I even want to. It's just the principle of like, oh, you can do this while people are trying to finance a fucking burrito through a car service or
You
a
can
food
spend
delivery app.
$1 million a minute for a couple of hours
Yeah.
being up in the air while
And I get
Yay.
it. Like, if you're Katy Perry or Gayle King or whoever the fuck, it's like, what else are you gonna do? You've accomplished everything else on Earth. What else the fuck are you gonna do? I'll go to space. Okay, cool. Yeah, but like, don't
Plant
I'm not saying that.
trees,
I'm not saying that they are, but like,
start a food
don't,
bank.
Don't get upset when no one gives a shit.
Yeah, and you should. And honestly, if you are upset, fucking go back
And
to
it's
space.
like, oh,
I
well,
don't
you're,
know.
you're
Yeah.
talking about it, blah blah blah, and it's like, it's not even that. It's just like, this is just something to talk about and sort of use that as a point of contention. It's like, yeah, like, we live in a dystopian future where people have to finance burritos through food apps, but yet you have women, non-trained like people
Yeah,
going into space. They're not astronauts.
going into space where people have spent
They're not astronauts.
years preparing of their
Yeah.
life.
Like, that
preparing
is
for these
people's
things.
occupation, and you're doing it for funsies.
Yeah, girls trip. Let's go, ladies.
Literally a girls trip to space.
Ladies' night. Let's go.
Dude, do you remember?
Cocktails around the moon.
Here's a callback. Here's a callback. You remember, like, 3 years ago, like, hot in the pandemic, where we talked about that they
Hollywood
were gonna
meat parties in
on
space.
the moon.
Yeah, yeah.
Here we go. This is it.
That's the thing too. Is
This
it
is the
was
test
literally,
flight.
I
This is the
think,
test flight.
It's just, man, we are on such an unsustainable path, and it's.
Dude, yeah,
I don't
we've been
even.
that
But
way.
again, like I've said before, like I'm not smart enough to know what to do. I'm not smart enough to explain it. But it's like, if I could put my mental pictures into like action. You can
But
see
you are
like,
smart. You may not be smart enough to explain why, because we perceive it as fucking common sense. It's just like,
Yeah.
what, like,
I don't know how to explain this to
you don't
you
need
that
facts anymore.
yeah, like it's like we don't need the science. We don't need the scientists coming on to television and being like, "Hey guys, it's bad." Like I can just fucking you can look at the door and be like,
Yeah,
"You
that's
see that
right.
guy? You see the guy over there who's Ubering some food because he fucking can't afford it, so he's using their whole system." And
Yeah.
then you've got fucking people over here going to the moon, and it's like the untrained astronauts going to the moon. Hey,
I would fucking starve before I ever financed a fucking burrito for Taco Bell, dude.
I
I just wouldn't do it.
I don't I did.
I
It's
I
so
couldn't do it.
sad, man. It's
I
honestly
would
like so sad.
listen. I would ask someone to pay for my meal, and that's a big
Yeah.
thing because I don't like asking people to do fucking shit. I don't like asking anyone for help or anything like that, which is like part of it's part of my growth, right? Because I have to ask people for help to finance a comic book and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
like, I don't like, hey, it's like it's a pride thing. Like I would not ask someone to pay for my food, but I would do that before I ever was like, okay, I'll put a payment plan on my Taco Bell order.
Fucking, you could pay $6.66 over the
I'll-
next 7 years to finance this $18 burrito or whatever the hell you're
It's
buying.
just like, and even to that point, it's like, okay, so we're trying to go to the moon to have like Hollywood meat parties. We're trying to do test runs to see what kind of colonization we can do on Mars. We're doing, the was it Saudi Arabia or whatever we talked about a few weeks
Oh,
ago.
Neom or whatever,
Like Neom, right? And like,
building the city of the future.
so it's like, okay, cool, great. And now you have a group of investors who literally want to build an underwater city. And I'm like, did no one play BioShock?
Why
fucking
does the
Rapture.
news feel like we're in some kind of fucking sci-fi world
Simulation.
right now,
Yeah.
where it's like, because I was talking to Shelby the other day, and I was like, because we talked about the whole like idea that the Matrix is real, right? Because like not
Yeah.
not their literal sense that
Can
the
we
Matrix
turn the
is real,
simulation off, please?
but that's the thing is like there's a ton of evidence, like I say quote unquote evidence, right?
yeah,
That we are
you better put quotes around that.
that we are in a simulation of sorts, right? Because there's a lot of things that are unexplained. There's a lot of like, and then there's also these synchronicities that happen where like we've already made a movie about Jurassic Park, okay? And what was the Jurassic Park about? It was about bringing extinct animals back to life, right?
Well, dude,
And now we're trying to fucking do BioShock. Like I don't know if people watched. I don't know if people played BioShock. It didn't end very good for the people of.
would you kindly?
I
You
just-
didn't play the first one, which is still criminal to me.
I don't know why I only played the second one. I tried to play
I
the
don't.
third one and it kept crashing on me. But it's just, fucking the second one
Infinite's
was
not
great.
my favorite, but dude, I replayed the first one every couple of years. It's that fucking good.
Well, I
It's
know
just-
that it didn't end very well for those people.
that dude, that game just like it was crazy. It came out right when I hit college, and like I played it so feverishly that I had like sweat-induced dreams about being in Rapture. Like I was supposed to be. This is like it was the week before school, my freshman year started, and I just was like, I didn't have any friends. I was in a new place. I didn't know anybody.
yeah, so video
And
games are
I,
kind of like your escape, essentially. Like,
that one
something to
in
make you feel
particular
home,
because
yeah.
I just got lost in Rapture, dude, and that like honestly, in a weird way, changed the way that I like played video games because that was the first time that I'd really like every nook and cranny and corner of a game I explored, and I opened every single fucking container. I did everything
Nice,
remotely
yeah.
possible. Where like beforehand, I would do, when you played linear stuff, it's like, oh, you do this. It's like you didn't never really drifted off the path or whatever. And so
Yeah.
that was the first time where I was like, oh, like I'm
like a
this
choose your
is
own
a-
adventure. Like
it was
you
an
can go here
immersive
first,
sim, right?
yeah.
And like I had played stuff like that before, even like Half-Life 2 and stuff like that, but like, or in Half-Life, but like that was the one where like from that point forward, every time I play a game, I have been conditioned to like, or reconditioned, I guess, to look, oh, what that box don't look right, like this, that,
Yeah.
or whatever.
The texture on that box is a little bit different.
But
than all
this
the
is
other
like,
ones.
dude, that's not gonna work. And again, it's like we're doing all of these things. We're finding new ways to do things rather than, try to find the solution.
And
My
I have a feeling that the next movie that gets brought up that like we start to emulate, right, is Don't Look Up. I feel like I have this sinking feeling that there's going to be some sort of event
I still
in the
haven't
near
watched it.
future where there's going to be an
I've
asteroid.
seen clips of it. And I think it would irritate the shit
Spoiler
out of me.
alert: there's an asteroid head towards Earth. I think
Yeah,
that's
I
kind
knew
of
that. I know
self-explanatory.
the
Yeah.
premise, but like I've seen that clip of like Leo like losing his shit, and like I understand that the whole thing is supposed to be like jokey.
It's a parody.
And,
Yeah, it's a parody of like
right?
literal like what would happen. But I just
Of-
have a feeling that those like literally
And it's
exact
one of
same
those
thing
like,
would
does
happen
it
for
take
real.
it too far because like we live
I
in
think
that time?
that is the weird thing about movies where it's like when it's first made, yes, it's parody, but then can something progress to the point like become too real essentially as time progresses, right? And I think that it's one of those movies that because there's the
Fucking
point
idiocracy, dude.
there's a point in the movie where they're like, okay, we can knock this asteroid off course, right? With a nuclear strike. And so they're talking about it, and then like on the news, it cuts to the news, and they're talking about going and mining the planet or mining the asteroid because they found out there's a whole bunch of gold on it, essentially, or some sort of rare mineral. And so instead of nuking it and saving the planet, they decided let's fucking mine it. And
Yeah.
spoiler alert, it doesn't work. But yeah, man, it's just it does get too close to reality almost.
Well,
but
it's like, a lot of times, like those, archaeology movies, Indiana Jones or whatever, they find it, it's like, oh, here's a sarcophagus. Let's open it.
how many times have we done that?
How about you stop?
Yeah.
How about you don't?
But how many times have we already
and it's
done that though?
from movie purposes, fine. But then it's like when they do dig up, and then like, they did that thing recently a couple weeks ago where they found out that the meme of the pyramids is like true, where there's like these cylindrical
There's
like,
huge ass
pillars
chambers
that
and
are
shit
all-
like that.
the
Yeah, like,
chambers underneath, and it's just like I listen, I understand the idea and the appeal of like the unknown. Like again, that's why I fucking love Uncharted and stuff, where it's like finding these treasures and finding these things. Like I get it, but like there has to be a point in your brain where it's just like maybe we shouldn't. You
Yeah.
know, I'm rewatching in a weird, like I've got it's not I'm rewatching the entire Alien franchise. Okay.
Okay.
Starting.
This is your second time doing it, isn't it?
No,
Or did you do Predator? You did Predator last
Predator.
year. That's right. Okay.
So because I haven't watched Romulus and everything is on Hulu, so I started watching Alien today. I'm actually watching it out of order.
You watch it how you're supposed to technically watch it, or are you watching it?
No,
like,
I'm not. I'm not watching it chronologically because like you start with Prometheus and I hated Prometheus, and then there's like another one after
Yeah.
that, and then there's both Alien versus Predator movies, and then it's like Alien, then the new one Alien Romulus, and then it's Aliens, and then Alien 3 and whatever.
Okay.
Anyways, I'm watching the original, the first one, 1979.
Got you.
And I'm like watching it, and it's just like I can only imagine like what it was like in 1979 to go watch this in theaters. Probably blew fucking minds, I'm
Dude,
sure. Melted minds, I'm sure. But like
Yeah.
from a logical standpoint, it's just like like the whole idea is like they get this SOS to go to the planet. And I get it. You go, okay, great.
Yeah.
But then like the fucking face hugger gets the guy, wants to get on the planet because they explore this thing, and it's like, don't do that. Don't do that.
It's like, yeah, it's like so many red flags where
Just
it's
doing all
yeah.
these things. And it's like, okay, I get it, all that. Until the face hugger gets him. And then Ripley's like, don't bring him on the ship. And they're like, fuck you. You're a woman.
Yeah, no, I
I'm
mean,
doing
like,
it
yeah,
anyway."
logically
And then
speaking, like,
and
you
then they bring
shouldn't.
it on the ship. And then it just all hell breaks loose. And it's just like,
Because if you say
you're
like,
the cause of your own demise. You could have just not done it. And I get it. It's a movie. I understand. But
but me being
who's
like
to-
the scientific mind is like, yeah, bring him on the ship to study him,
who's to
but
say
like quarantine him.
that
obviously.
in 50 years when we do find some sort of planet that has life on it, what are we gonna do?
the same thing.
We're gonna do exactly
Yeah,
that.
that's why it's like it's really like when you start to break it down, like we could be in a simulation, like we legit, like because they're just gonna like, unless it because it's
Maybe
one of those things where like
movies
this,
are like what actually happened.
oh that's like they always talk about the Simpsons and how like they always predict like that's a crazy rabbit hole to go down, like the Simpsons and like
it's
and
not
it's
always right.
and it's not always right. There's the one that always gets me though is the one of Trump, and it's like, and
The Vegas one is what
the-
gets me.
it's like the one that I'm thinking about is like the one where Trump is like going down the escalator after like I think he won the election or maybe he's campaigning or some shit, and down to the point like of where the kid drops the sign. It's like all the like the scene is exactly like the same way as it was like it happened in real life, and it's I don't know, man. It's
I never
eerie,
really
but
paid attention to any of that stuff until the Caps went to the Cup. And in The Simpsons, there was a team, a team in Vegas, a hockey team in Vegas
Yeah.
that won the cup. Obviously, they didn't win it. We did, but like the fact that because you don't probably know this, but for the longest time, like Vegas was a no. Like
Yeah,
you
because
can't have
yeah, it's like it's
because you can't have a sports team there because of gambling, and
because
like
yeah,
it's
it's like the
so
gambling capital.
funny.
Yeah.
Dude, this is another rabbit hole you want to go down, like with sports, and why I think that in the NFL specifically, I talked about it, like sports in general have been ruined or whatever, or they're just like changed. And like, you know, in the 60s and the 70s and even into the 80s, like people would get in trouble for point shaving and all these things. And the fucking mafia had a chokehold on gambling rackets.
I
And
still
that
don't know what a
shit
racket is, but I mean, go for. I know I get what you're saying. Yeah,
but the whole point is it is so fucking legal. And now it's the government
yeah,
that is doing it. But
it's
it's
almost like
okay when the government does it.
it's almost like they wanted a piece of the pie, and they were like, well, if we make it
And now
illegal,
there's fucking 3 professional teams
because
in Las Vegas.
and it's like insane to me because it's just we're so like it's so stupid. I hate everything because it's like you got to sit here and say like, oh, you know, prostitution's illegal, oh, sex work's illegal, oh, it's bad, sex work's bad, but then like, except for this one state in this one area, like it's okay. Wait, we're gonna let it happen. We're just gonna kind of like
Yeah.
it's like New Amsterdam. It's like Amsterdam, where it's like you can smoke weed, but it's like it's still illegal. But it's like you can fucking do it. It's fine. It's hypocrisy at the end of the day. I hate hypocrisy. I hate it.
Yeah,
and
well, I mean that's how the
and it's
country
this
was
idea
founded.
that like, oh, because we can tax this place or they pay us a lot of money in taxes and
Yeah.
stuff like that, like it's fine. So it's
Yeah.
it's
Dude, you can go down so many rabbit holes on
yeah.
like why things are the way they are and stuff like that. But
You scream at the
you know,
clouds.
but anyways,
okay?
so I was watching Alien and like I'm enjoying it, but like it's I'm finding it the harder. How do I phrase this? I'm finding it the older I get watching stuff. Now, there's certain movies that this doesn't apply to, but like things don't hit like they used to. And I know we've been down this whole rabbit hole about like I've said rabbit hole a lot. We've been down this whole well of like, you know, they don't make movies like Lord of the Rings anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, great. Okay, cool. But like even still, I don't know if it's because we're so hyper focused or like the internet or whatever it is, but I just feel like the quality of stuff is just not as good as it used to be. But like I'm watching Alien, and Alien is a fucking classic, dude. It's a fucking classic.
Mhm.
And I'm just like, and maybe it's because I've seen it, but like I don't know. It's just it's not hitting the same way. You know, by the time this podcast drops, or maybe even into next week, the long rumored Oblivion remake is coming out, and Oblivion is the last Elder Scrolls game that I enjoyed thoroughly,
Yeah.
loved it when it came out on 360. I had that, Dead Rising, and Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter that like just carried me for a while. Dude, those 3 games, awesome. Loved Oblivion, loved Morrowind.
Yeah.
I don't like Skyrim. I never did. I tried multiple times to get
I like
into it.
Skyrim quite a bit.
I listen. I don't think it's bad. It's just like I didn't. I found it boring. I wasn't into it. I
It
don't
left a
know.
lot to be desired, but at the same time,
I think it
like,
did
it
a
was
lot
an
of things
improvement.
right.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel. It didn't feel like the step forward that Oblivion felt like coming from Morrowind, right?
Yeah.
All that to say is like I saw, you know, we saw the screenshots and like it looks good, but I just don't. I it's like there are things that you can go back and play and you enjoy them just as much as you did the first time. And then there's things that you go back and play, especially with Bethesda stuff, because I think Bethesda things age like milk to me. And
That's fair.
you know, I've tried so many times to finish New Vegas, and I can't. I'm like, this shit is unplayable. Like this shit is not.
Is it
fun.
graphics or is it like
It's
just
the
the way?
mechanics. It's I mean, it's just like I don't know. Like, it's so funny. You can go back and play like you know Nintendo and Genesis stuff, and it's fine. You don't have that like it's like the R style, but like you go back and play PlayStation 1, and even now we've hit the point to where like you're playing stuff. Oblivion came out in 2000 and what 2006, 2007 on the 360. Okay, so
Jesus
we're almost
Christ.
20. We're almost 20 years removed.
Jesus Christ.
And yeah, and I'm sure that like there's a lot of quality of life stuff that's been added to it,
yeah.
but
I want to be excited. You know,
I
like,
just
wanna
I'm just
be.
like okay.
Like I was telling Ian, I was like, I'll believe it when I see it. You know, like
I
it's one
wish
of
it
those things
was
too where it's
more.
I don't like what is it? Is it true? Is it like I don't understand? I still don't
So
understand
it
it. You know?
exists. I mean, it's been long talked about, like confirmed that it exists. It's just like they're gonna
Yeah,
just drop it. Like they're not gonna release it. It's gonna be digital only, not physical. But like I am ruined in a certain extent by something like Dead Space, because Dead
they did
Space was
such
a
a great.
remake.
Yeah,
Like the one that came out a couple years ago that I have praised and praised and praised is a fucking top to bottom remake that I don't care about re-releases or like up-res versions of shit
yeah,
like Oblivion, because Dead Space also came out on the 360. So like you want to remake stuff like the Tomb Raider games or Legacy of Kain and okay, those PlayStation 1 games, you give them a pretty little makeover. Okay, those are fine. Those
yeah.
are 30-year-old games. But like it goes back to that whole idea where stuff the leaps and bounds that like we were accustomed to no longer exist, and to the point where like just like it's just like Last of Us or whatever, like people want a remake of Uncharted 1, and I think that out of that entire series, like that's the one that could benefit the most. But and like I'm a mark, I would buy it because I fucking love that franchise, but I
Yeah.
just don't know if it's neat. Like unless you make it ground up, top to bottom, like a full on remake, then don't waste your time just adding a new HD filter on it.
It's
Like
like
it,
Vice City, fucking like where they like
yeah,
that whole fiasco that
yeah.
was Vice City, where it's that same kind of sentiment where it's instead of trying to remake the entire game, they were like, let's just I don't know, like let's use whatever we can with
It's like
AI,
Skyrim.
like to upgrade, yeah, upres it or whatever. And yeah, like Skyrim, like I don't think any of the iterations of Skyrim have added hardly
The
anything to the
only
fucking
the,
game.
the
Like
mods on Steam are the only thing that have made it worthwhile, right?
that's the only thing that's been able to make it look decent. Yeah, like
Like
it's insane to me that like the only way to make the game look better was to like say, hey, you guys do it. So and it's like they've arguably made the game way more enjoyable than Bethesda ever did. You know what I mean? Like sure they added the bones and everything to it, but it's like I don't know, the people dressed up the skeleton, or, so I
I
don't
just
know.
don't know how many games we need to be remade or
But again, like,
re-released.
the theme of this podcast today, this episode is is yelling at the clouds, and
Well, if
we're
you don't
on
like it,
such
don't
a
buy it. Okay, well I
like
won't, but
it's
other people
and
will.
that
So
we're on a
it's
stupid trajectory where it's like nothing's gonna be like it's just and AI is fucking sucks, and it's like man, I just want to you just want to ball up sometimes because there's nothing you can do
well,
about it. It's just an inevitable like all you can do is laugh, laugh.
you can, but I think it's healthy to express your like disdain or your opinions. Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
those things. Like I think it's healthy just to be like, I don't like it. And I
and then the
think that
internet
obviously,
sucks.
yeah, there's that, but and I think that that makes things worse, obviously, because you get wrapped up in like a microcosm of like, well, right.
Yeah.
So like, it's how much does stuff influence your opinion? Like people can say, well, whatever. And I think that whether or not we want to admit it, certain things can influence, like, because you'll always hear people be like, oh man, I want to go see, like I was telling you today, what was that movie I was telling you about?
The Minecraft movie.
No, 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 no. You gotta tell me about that.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's like it's really good.
Is it? Oh fuck! It's a vampire movie.
Oh
Ryan
shit!
Coogler.
Legends. Yeah. No, not
No, no.
Legends. Oh, it's like Legends.
Killers?
Outlaws.
Nope,
Uh, uh, Criminals or something. I don't know.
nope. Just type in Michael B. Jordan and see what comes up, because it'll be the first thing. It's Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler,
Michael.
and it's a vampire movie.
B. A new
And
movie. Creed 3.
nope,
Black Panther.
nope,
Without Remorse.
dude. What?
Sinners. Sinners. It's the
Sinners. There
third
it
one,
is.
by the way. It's
Okay.
the third one.
So Sinners came out, and apparently it's a really good vampire movie. Now here's the problem. I just said what someone like the general consensus, word of mouth. I've not looked up reviews. I've not looked at anything. General consensus is that it's a pretty good movie. Now, am I able to watch this movie without any preconceived
You've already ruined
notion?
yourself. Yeah, you've already ruined. You're always
But
soiled
like,
your pants.
okay, so how do you recommend stuff to people? That's why I've also don't like recommending.
That's why, like, whenever
I
I'm
quit doing it when
recommending
with
something,
food.
yeah, like when I'm recommending something, I just like, hey, I enjoyed this thing. I thought it was all right.
I
But
think
I don't. I think that people should form their own opinions. You know.
there's that, but I think there is so much value in like when I recommend things to you, there are very few things that I have recommended to you that you did not enjoy.
Mhm.
I I can think of maybe Dead Island, the first one, but that was more so because like,
Did you
oh hey,
recommend that to me?
I think the first one,
I
or
think
Dying
I
Light,
thought-
Dying Light,
Oh,
Dying
okay,
Light,
Dying Light. I was gonna say
because
Dead
like
Island. I'm pretty sure I got on Steam for
no,
for a Steam bundle or something.
Dying Light, and it like that was one of those like, oh, this was cool when it came out in 2014, but then we tried to play it in like COVID time, and it was like it was rough.
Yeah,
But again, like it wasn't something that I was like, oh my god, it was not like
Yeah.
Inscription
and I
or
didn't feel like I wasted my money. I was just like, hey,
right.
you know, just didn't hit.
But when you are friends with people and you learn what people's tastes are and like sort of things, like there are things that I like that I don't ever tell you about because I'm like, there is no fucking way. I told you, I even we were talking today. I finally watched Oppenheimer.
Oh yeah,
You would not like it. Do
I-
not watch it.
I
You
never
will not
intended.
enjoy it.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't intend. Like it just seems like a boring movie to me. I don't know why we needed it, but whatever.
You, I
I don't know what
I
happens.
do not
you know?
recommend the movie to you.
Okay.
Personally, I think it's a fine movie. I think it's fine, and that's about the best praise I can give it. And I think it's. I didn't watch the Nolan movie before this, the one that nobody liked, Tenet.
I thought Tenet was fine.
Apparently there was a part, or like there was. It was like during COVID. There was an audio issue.
I think that a lot of people didn't like Tenet because of the fact that he was so smug about Tenet and like he was basically saying
Well, yeah,
people are
that doesn't
stupid.
help.
But
That doesn't help.
I thought it was fine. I now granted, I'm fucking stupid and I didn't understand most of it, but like I knew that it involved some version of time travel, and it wasn't time travel. It was weird, but it was fun. It was fine.
I know we're talking about a movie that's like 3 years old, but I felt like it was kind of messy. I felt like Oppenheimer was kind of messy and all over the place, and it did not flow well. And then like, if you go in watching it and you don't know who every single one of these fucking old white dudes were in the 1920s, 30s, and 40s, and it's just like these are just people. Like,
Okay.
these people mean nothing to me.
And that's what I'm saying, man. Like,
But-
sorry, I hit it just now. Fuck, I need
No,
to
you're
take a
fine.
shower.
So-
I'm gonna take a
Yeah,
shower
you
after this
gross
episode.
motherfucker.
I haven't showered
But
yet
look,
today. So.
you hear the phrase all the time. Fucking eat the rich.
Yeah.
So what does that mean?
I don't know, dude. That's what I was thinking about today. Fucking, I don't know. Like, cause I'm not.
I know that's a weird transition, but it kind of fits in with the theme.
I'm not saying that I'm not advocating for rich people whatsoever. Whatever. Okay, cool. I kind of
Can
think
they all
suck.
leave?
Yeah, I kind of think they suck. Get out of here. You know,
I don't think they kind of suck. They do suck.
they do suck. But at the same time, people always talk about eat the rich, tax the rich, and it's like my thing is
Those
that
are two different things.
well, either way you go with it, it doesn't matter. Like, what's okay? Say we
There's two flight paths here. Eat, as in
It's-
eat, or tax, because tax is just like pay your fair share.
same thing.
Eat
really.
implies, funny business.
Like murder them
I
and
didn't say-
cook them and eat them. I mean, literally eat the rich. And I think that because I think put your money where your mouth is, pun intended. Eat the rich, literally eat them, and then take
And
their
then
money.
you wipe it off with dollars. That's
Yeah.
like a napkin.
But like my thing is that okay, so we eat the rich, right? We take all their
Mm-hmm.
money from them. Who gets the money? It's not
Well, that's
you.
just called-
It's not me. It's not the society, right?
You have to spread it out.
You know who's going to take it? The fucking
Rich people.
government. The fucking government's going to take it. And you know who's in the government? Rich,
Rich
people. Yeah, it's just like it's a sum zero, whatever the fuck the saying is, right? There's nothing happens. It's just like eat the rich means nothing. It's just another. It's
Ouroboros.
It's Ouroboros. And if you tax the rich, who gets the money? The fucking government. They're not going to turn around and use that money for you. You're not going to get a check in the mail. So stop believing that fucking Elon's going to send you a goddamn check, you piece of fucking stupid shit. I didn't mean to get so upset. I apologize. I'm going to walk it back a little bit. There's a weird transition there. I apologize.
There is this okay, like, oh god, I don't want to go down this, but I think I'm going to. There's a dividing line. Okay, I think that's not controversial to say. There's a division in this country.
What do you mean? Can you go into that a little
And-
bit? What do you mean?
Okay,
There's something
And
happening?
so
or
like like there's this idea that generation after generation has been passed down, like you have to choose a side within the side. Like United States is your country, but you have to choose a dividing line. You have to be on the right or you have to be on the left. Okay, you know, they're all full of shit. None of them give a fuck about you. Like
Yeah.
like that's the first thing you need to learn.
Now,
Obviously,
arguably, one side is way worse than the other, but neither one of them care about you. Is the point, right? Yeah.
yes, but the other one is uh what's the word if like complicit. Yeah, the other one is complicit in
Yeah.
what happens because they don't do anything. I digress. Not to get into that
Government
part of it.
is complicit in
Not
everything.
to get
So
into that part
yeah,
of it,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's like when people I don't know how you change it. I don't know, but the tonal shift that needs to happen where it's like fuck your dividing lines. Who gives a shit if you're right, left, red, blue, who cares?
Yeah.
What you need to realize is that the actual division is people versus power.
Yeah.
Like that's where it's at.
It's kind of like where we've been
Because
at for a while now. It feels like, but
yes, but I think that we, the conglomeration of we,
yeah,
are so absorbed in this idea that like all these guys, while the actual people, the power, just fucking sits there like fat cats.
yeah,
And they just
literal
and
like villains, like in a chair with their
yeah,
actual fat cats. Yeah.
because manipulation works.
But it
And
tied it back into the beginning of the episode. There's nothing we can do about it, dude. I love.
no, there is.
Okay,
There
all
is.
right. I understand. You know, shouts out to the group chat, shouts out to my friends, shouts out to you guys. You guys have good hearts, right? You think, you know, these things are gonna help, but it's just like I don't have any faith that anything is gonna be done until it
That's fine.
happens. You know, and it's
I've
like
been
I
that
don't
way in
know.
sports for a long time, buddy.
Yeah, and I don't know how you
Let
keep
me
doing
just
it. I don't know
tell
how you
you,
keep going.
I
You know,
keep coming back.
fucking Captain America over here. I could do this all day. You know what I mean? Fucking goddamn taking shot after shot. You're just like, hell yeah, buddy, sign me up for another one. A new season. Who this? You know, as you're fucking
Yeah.
still nursing the
It's that fucking punching bag. But you know, I don't know. I don't know. I think you got to take, you know, the little victories. You got to take um you just I don't know.
I,
I don't
it really, I think that you have a great point, and that is that like it truly is about taking the little victories, and that's like kind of stepping back, fucking turning your phone off. You know,
yeah, that helps.
it does feel negligent a little bit, but
Eh,
don't worry, the world's not gonna fucking end,
mean-
and if it does, you know,
I mean, I think that it's the tethering of the phone, right? I'm like actively aware of like times where I'm like, I'll pick up my phone. I'm like, I don't like, and I'll set it
Yeah.
down because I'm like, I don't need it because
legit. Yeah,
it's just that like it's also a habit, right? It takes 28 days to break a habit. And you went through it. You went through it where you're just like, I don't fucking know what to do all this time. I have all this time, blah, blah. But like now you've sort of like kept your brain occupied, and I experienced it a lot a couple weekends ago when I literally went D&D dark.
yeah,
All that entire weekend, and it was nice because I knew there was only two people that could get through to me. And it was my wife and it was you. So it was like if my phone doesn't ring or I do not, it was the seeing part, and like I realized that on my own. It's not so much obviously the habitual of like, oh, I got 5 minutes, just sit here, like I don't, you know,
yeah,
okay, whatever. But the cause of that was I would get a notification. I would get a push notification from something, or I'd
Hey,
get
you done been looking at your phone for like 10 minutes. What's wrong? You okay?
yeah,
Like,
well,
here's
it's
that. Here,
like,
let's check
or
this out.
like, you know, I would have, you know, again, like I said on Twitter, like I have like 4 or 5 accounts that like when something pops up, it's like, okay, cool, whatever. But then if I saw the notification from the group chat, I would then look at that. And then it's like, oh, I've read all the messages. And then that's when you start with the habitualness of like, oh,
Yeah.
here, I'm gonna click on this, I'm gonna click on that. And so like it was nice. It was nice. And then, you know, you fall back into it or whatever. Like I'm nowhere near as bad as I used to be. And then like there's times where I'll look at it, I'll be home alone and I'll be like, damn, like I don't need to be on it.
Yeah.
But then I think back, I'm like, man, you know, Zoe's like 7 now. And like she picks up habits and she'll be like, well, you're on your phone. And it's like,
Yeah, but I'm an
and it's
adult.
like, I know. And I used to hear that shit too. And I don't, and again, I'm doing these things that I'm trying to break cycles,
Yeah, dude.
you know,
You're a
and it's,
Khaleesi, breaker of chains over here.
they're there is truth in like I'm an adult. I can do what the fuck I want.
Yeah.
I pay the bills. I do this, that, and the other. But like, how do you convey that to a 7 year old who doesn't know? Doesn't know. Like, it's not her fault that she has grown up in this time where iPads are readily accessible. And
Yeah.
you know, are there things that we probably could have done or should have done? It's like, yeah, but like, if you sit back and you look at all the mistakes you've made as a parent, you'd fucking die. Like you'd fucking die.
No, no, I already know that I fucked up already. Like, like
Like
it's inherently like I know that because like for what it's worth, shouts out to my parents. They did a great job, for all the things that they did. I was raised just fine, just right.
we,
But
you
it's
know,
like
I brought up a point to you. I don't know how long ago it was, and you said it like really stuck with you and resonated with you. Where I was like, oh, it's about living in the moment, and
oh
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and you've like, sort of taken that to heart. And I wasn't saying that you weren't. It was just like this idea that we always need. I think it's very healthy to always have something to look forward to, but not necessarily always thinking about something else.
Hmm.
So like, with me, like I've got something I'm doing next week, blah blah blah, but like I'm not thinking about it. But that is probably a psychological thing where like I always expect the rug to be pulled out from under me, so I don't
Yeah,
get excited for stuff. But I sort of saw it on like this all this under a magnifying glass when like you get those memories from Christina will get them from Snapchat, but like they'll pop up on your phone. It's like on this day in 2018, right? And I saw this video of like there was like Zoe, and I was very proud of myself 5 years ago. Like, yes, was I on my phone too much? Yeah, we all were. We were all guilty. Like, no one can, whatever.
yeah.
But like, there's
It was
these
pandemic.
videos. Well, not even that. There was videos of Zoe in 2018. Like, she was like baby,
Yeah,
like fucking, whatever. And then like, oh, there's all these videos of us. Like, yes, the irony is that Christina's filming it, but like, I'm there
yeah.
in the moment. Like, I'm not on my phone. I'm watching Zoe. I'm playing with Zoe. I'm aware. Like, when it was just like, I was very proud of myself
You should be,
because
man. Yeah,
I mean, there were, and that's not to say that like there weren't times where at that same age where I didn't pick up my phone and look at something on Twitter or, watching a hockey game or
I
whatever. But
mean,
like,
you can only play with your kids so much before it's
it's
like
not even
it
that. It's
doesn't.
just like,
You do your job,
I think it's just like, I take and I took parenting very seriously.
Yeah,
And it's just one of those things where you see, it's like, well, it wasn't that long ago because like, we're not going to have any more kids, obviously. And I do, Christina and I will talk about it. We'll see those old pictures and we're like, man, I get why people have another kid. I get it.
yeah.
Because that feeling, you're like longing for that, like, it's just
That
like,
baby nostalgia, like
it's strong, dude.
it
It's
is. Yeah, I mean,
powerful.
baby fever is like a real thing that people get or whatnot. But it's also shouts out to not having any more kids though. Shouts out to like those parentless people out there because fucking kids are a lot. I get it. That's I do think that you fall into that trap though too. Is like people only see the good times, right, with kids and like with like parenting and whatnot, like playing with the kids and whatnot. It's hard shit, dude,
Do you ever,
lots of
do you
anxiety.
ever get to that point? Because I'm sure that I know that there are times where you're just like, man, I'm tired. I don't want to play with the kids.
All the
Like, I
time,
just don't.
yeah.
But do you ever get to that point where you feel like you're not doing enough?
Yeah, all the time. Because my kids tell me that I'm not doing enough all the time. Fucking doesn't matter if I play with them 2 hours.
I
Doesn't matter if I play with them for 20 minutes. The same result.
I am
Okay.
a I have a
Let's
very
play some more.
I have a very thick skin, right? And there
Yeah.
are very few things that I let get to me. And even Zoe said something the other day that I have like a piercing stake to my heart, and she did not mean it in the way that I took it, but the way it came out was one of those. I was like, oh my god, like is that how you feel? You know what I mean?
Shit, dude. Damn.
She came home from school, and at the what it was that she was withholding was not important. It was important to her, but like it wasn't something that like had happened at school where she was whatever, which is what my concern was, because we always ask her, how was your day, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And you can sort of like gauge the mood when she gets off the bus, whatever. And she was like withholding this secret. And I was just like, what is it? She's like, I'm not telling you until mommy gets home. And I'm like, was like, well, that doesn't seem very fair because you're always telling her stuff and you don't tell me. And she's like, well, you're never around.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that hurts.
And I was like, excuse me?
That hurts, dude. Damn, dude. That hurt me.
Right?
I'm here all the fucking time. What do you mean? I live in this
Right.
goddamn house. What do you mean? You just
Right.
get mad at like your 7 year old, you fucking yelling at her and shit. Like,
And I was just like,
is that Jennifer Lawrence meme with, what do you mean? What do you mean?
I was it like it was a tonal shift because I was just like,
And then you start
is
second
that-
guessing your entire life because like, am
That's
I
what I'm
not
talking
here?
about.
Like, what do you mean? Like, I'm not here? Like, do you mean physically or do you mean like
And
mentally?
I think
Like, I don't know.
What
What do you?
just meant in like there will be times where like I'll be out mowing the yard and then like she'll be talking to Christina and I'm
Yeah.
not a part of that conversation, or I'll run to the store, or like that's what she meant. She doesn't mean that like I'm not around because I am always around.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking
Probably too much.
Yeah, I literally work and live in this house. Like, it's like I cannot not be here. You know?
Yeah,
Like,
and I was just like, I was like, oh my god,
damn.
oh
dude.
my God, I almost dropped
Have me
my
second.
knee
I'm gonna fucking go and question my entire life tonight.
because I was like, oh man, because like you just want to like not click, but like I can't wait. It sounds weird. It's like a self validation thing. It's not why I do it, but it's like I hope that I do a good enough job to where in 10, 15 years, Zoe looks back and is just like, I had the best life. I had the best
Yeah.
childhood. I had all these things because it's like I do all of these things, A, because I want to, but also because like I can afford her all of these experiences in the life that I never had. And I'm also the parent I never had. But like she doesn't get it. And why would she?
yeah, I mean, that's the burden of like
Yeah.
living the life and creating the life for your kids that you didn't have. Is that
that's-
like they don't have
that's
the
the point.
perspective that you do? But that's also like I said, that's the point. Like, so it's like in the
But
end,
I
of the
do-
I think
but-
that feeling that you want at the end of the day, where like it clicks, something happens, they turn 15, 16, they're like, I have a pretty goddamn
I think
good.
I
It's
don't
gonna
think it
happen
hits
eventually.
until their mid-20s though.
Probably not. Mine didn't for sure.
I mean, when did you start?
Mine's still coming. You know, I'm still getting there. You know, I'm still
What?
just realizing that like, hey, my parents did all right. You know.
Yeah.
No, I probably realized that like when I was like 25, 26, like I was out of college or whatever, had it like, you know, had my job or whatnot. Probably like whenever we first had kids, honestly, or just like you finally realize like, yeah, you know, my parents did all right. Good job, guys.
It's been lately, last 2 years or so, where a lot of it's not repressed because I'm very aware of how I grew up. I'm very aware of all that sort of things and relationships with my
Slashing the whole episode, dude.
family and specifically my parents and those sort of deals. But the last 2 years specifically, and even maybe even like more recently, the last year, things for me are much more under a microscope because other things get brought up or thrown in my face by other people or whatever. And it's just like, maybe you should look in the mirror. And then it's like then it's just like I'm active, but it's just like at the end of you want to be like, I'm trying to do not that.
Yeah.
Like this idea and like not to get into it, but like even further, but like this idea that you are owed something because you're a parent.
Oh, dude, it's 2025, baby. We've moved past that. We've moved past this, because me and Shelby have been on one recently where it's like truly starting to do what we can to cut away the toxicity of what
Yeah.
is our parents' generation, their parents' generation, of this idea that just because you birthed somebody into the world or you raised a person does not mean that you are then obligated to certain entitlements that you think that you are deserved.
You as a parent, you are obligated. You are obligated as a parent. Your child is not.
What do you mean? Oh yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yes,
Whereas there's a generation that believes that they
two
that you were
generations at least. Yeah.
well, all of them, but
Yeah. All at once until now, until 2025. Honestly.
and I also think that's like a pattern of behavior of society and how things whatever. But at the end of the day, I firmly believe, and we talked to last week, we'll fucking die on that hill. This is the hill I'll die on. It is not the parents, it is not the child's responsibility to maintain a relationship with the parents.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
You hope that you have done a good enough job throughout your life and their life that relationship stays and that it is a natural thing. But if your parents, if your kids feel that you are an obligation,
A burden, so to speak. Yeah.
you've done it wrong.
And
That's
I mean-
my belief.
And it's like, I understand there are times where like things shift, right? Like people and whatnot. But it's like this idea that I don't know, man. It's just, it's,
I didn't mean to get into this deep of it, but
hey,
it just
you know. But man, dude, yeah, it's just cutting out. It's 2025. Cut out the toxicity in your life. If there's, if you have parents of your own, they just feel like they're owed something, and it's like it shouldn't be about that. You know what I mean? Like it's not about like.
For a generation that likes to talk about pull yourself up by your bootstraps and this generation, you guys are so soft. There is no one softer, and no one gets their feelings hurt quicker and easier than our parents' generation. The first time you tell them you kind of fucking suck as a parent,
Yeah.
like all that shit that you did.
I also think
was
that you
not
gotta
healthy.
approach it at a certain way. They don't want to come and just like tell somebody that they suck at parenting.
But
Or maybe you
okay.
do. I don't know. I'm not an expert.
I mean, you don't say it in the way I just said it, but I'm just saying, like,
Or maybe you do. I don't know.
beating around the bush doesn't work sometimes. And
We need to stop beating around the bushes for sure.
yeah,
Be
but
more upfront and honest with me. You know what I mean? You already do it. Like that's why I love you. That's why I love Shelby. It's because like I don't have to like guess at what the fuck you're trying to say, or like you're just gonna flat out tell me, hey, you're
I'll
stupid
gaslight
as
you
shit.
sometimes just to fuck
Just for
with you.
fun, yeah. It's fun. It's fun to do. Like we gaslight each other every now and then. But it's like,
Not answer your text message.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, whatever.
yeah, and I don't answer your text messages. You think I'm doing it on purpose, but then I'm just like fucked off and I'm doing some random ADHD
That's because I
project.
spent my entire life being ignored.
Hey man, and we're honestly just working through it. You know, it's just like I truly like I've been.
It's why when I yell and go in those big long diatribes in the group chat and then when everyone no sells it, goddamn, I'm just like fuck you guys.
I don't
It's
I don't
it's
know
a me
what
problem.
to say.
It's a me.
Yeah, I know.
It's a me
I
problem.
don't. I'm not
because
smart.
It's like it's the same. It's to further amplify that. It's like when people would ask for my opinion, I give a very well thought out, detailed opinion, and you just fucking ignore it. And it's just like, why the fuck did I waste my time giving you a dissertation that you asked for? Because
Yeah.
I try not to give unsolicited advice because it's not my place.
Yeah.
And so it's like, so then like when I write those big fucking things in the group chat and no one responds, I'm like, fuck all four of you.
I've been trying to like heart things or like, throw up a laughy face or just so people know that, hey, I looked at this so
Yeah,
they
I
don't feel
know.
so bad. But no, I think I have been floating the idea here recently of doing therapy because I think that it would be good to like, I don't know. I think 2025, 2026.
You're not going to pay for it.
That's the thing, man. I got to figure out what the cost is on this. And isn't that the saddest thing to experience?
I sent a video today to both Jim and Fred, and it was a breakdown of how the American healthcare system works, and Fred was like floored.
Yeah, it's almost.
I'll send it to you.
It's almost like we don't do good things here with our healthcare system or like business corporations. Like honestly, like a government.
The whole Luigi situation.
Hey, man, I think that we dropped the ball on that one, guys.
No, we didn't.
I mean, I think that we did because. Never mind. I'm not gonna go into it, but I don't want to
get us canceled.
Yeah, I don't want to get flagged for anything. So I don't know.
Anyways, how was the Minecraft movie?
Oh man, let me tell you, buddy, it was good. I enjoyed it. The kids had a spectacular time. They loved it. I will say, I had 2 complaints. First complaint.
It was dog shit.
No, I actually that's the thing, man. You shouldn't go see the Minecraft movie thinking it's going to be some cinematic
I
masterpiece.
won't watch it.
Okay, that's fine. But I have this
no
idea.
connection.
Anybody going out there who's like, I've got to see this because I've heard that it's the best movie ever. It's not. It's fucking, yeah, by all accounts.
I heard it was atrocious.
If you go in with any expectation, you're going to be let down. You're going to be let down a ton. So I say, do whatever you got to do. Take an edible, smoke a bowl.
Smoke a bowl.
Smoke a
The way
bowl.
you said that.
Smoke a bowl. Whatever you got to do to enjoy it. But it's going to be a fun ride.
Have you ever done a weed?
And I've never done a weed, honestly. I was low-key. I don't know if my parents know this. My dad knows this, whatever. But, hey, watch your kids or whatever, I guess. But we were actually planning to do a weed, right? A friend of mine and I. It's not an imaginary one. I had an actual friend.
When is this?
I was probably like, fucking, it's probably the junior year in high school.
I thought you made it sound like it was recently because you said something about your kids. And
No. I say watch your kids. So you're just like, hey, this is what your kids are doing. So I was probably like 16, 17, maybe 18. I might have been out of high school. I don't know exactly, but we were planning to do a weed, right? I was a little bit nervous. I was getting all sweaty and whatnot because I didn't know how to say no to peer pressure. And my friend and like his brother and like his brother's friend were all like, yeah, dude, come on, fucking do it with us. And it's like, haha, you got me with the peer pressure. I'll go and do it. And so like we went up to his apartment or whatever, his dad's apartment, because they all lived with his dad. And he had smoked it all. So I didn't do a weed. And that was the closest I ever came to doing a weed. So crazy. That is a 100% cringe-worthy, 100% true story from my childhood. So
so what if you go to Philly and Wes is like, yo, take a hit?
I mean, I don't know, man. Am I going to be drug tested when I get back to Tennessee? So that's the thing I worry about now. Is if it was legal, fucking smoking a bowl. I don't have any reason not to. I'm fucking, as long as it's legal and I'm not going to lose my job for it.
The only reason I'm specific is because that's the only person I know that does it for medicinal purposes.
Oh, is it really? Hell yeah, dude. Fucking toke up. I'm a huge proponent for smoking weed, doing weed, taking edibles.
I think you might need it.
I know that it would be fun. I'm sure it might mellow me out. I've heard that it could do the opposite. It could make
had some edibles.
And edibles
Some
are.
gummies.
I need to try some gummies, dude. I've heard good things, but I just never have, man. But I would definitely do it for the Minecraft movie.
I feel like the first time you got super high, you would lean into like, yeah, bro, fucking.
I would honestly hope so, because I've heard that like if you even start thinking about bad trips, you're going to cause yourself to have a bad trip. That's not something I want to have. I don't want to fucking rip my skin off or anything like that.
That's mushrooms and like PCP.
I think it's any drug, dude. I think any drug can give you a bad trip. So you need a good guide. That's what I've heard. You need a good guide. Okay.
No, you're talking about like Oscawalla and shit or whatever it's called. Ayahuasca.
Fucking Oscawalla, dude. It's coming to market near you for sure. Oh, first complaint.
Oh, sorry.
Not enough eye-grabbing material for a 4-year-old. Okay. Oliver did great for the first 10 to 15 minutes of the movie.
He's at that age, though.
Yeah, 10, 15 minutes of the movie. They didn't have enough Minecraft in it, and he started to get antsy. We had to take a few breaks, go walk around, do the slide a little bit. We got to finish the movie. But second complaint, Jennifer Coolidge should have never been anywhere in that movie. That she should have never been in the movie. She should never be in. Like, she shouldn't have been allowed on set. She brings a very weird old person's sexuality to the movie that does not have any merit to be in the movie whatsoever. It's a fucking PG movie. It is a Minecraft movie. I don't know why she's bringing this I want to bang a fucking villager into the movie. It's weird. Get it the fuck out of here.
They're catering to the Minecraft people.
Nobody. It's not catering to anybody. That is not what anybody wants or nor needs. Especially considering the majority of the people in the movie theater were in fact both of my sons' age, anywhere from 7 to 4 years old. They didn't need the weird love triangle between Jennifer Coolidge and the fucking PE teacher and this villager. He looks like Ron Jeremy.
Okay.
Yeah. So didn't like any of the things that she was bringing to that movie. And honestly, if we could get her,
my mouse is dead.
I was wondering. The episode just keeps going. I guess we have to record a 2-hour episode again, dude.
I'm trying.
We're gonna sit here, record the episode, just keep going, dude.
Turn.
So, anyways, if we could just get her arrested and put in prison forever for her part in the movie, that would be great. I don't get anybody's appeal. I don't understand her appeal. Can you please end the episode so I can fucking stop talking?
My mouse won't work. I can't end it.
It's just a fucking This is the entire episode. Just like the next 30 minutes is us fucking laughing at the fact that you can't turn the fucking mouse on, dude. And it's like, goddamn.
It's not working, dude. I think it's dead, dude.
It's so fucking on par for the entire episode where it's just like old dudes screaming at fucking clouds and like now we can't work the fucking mouse. And it's like, what do we
It's not
do?
that I can't work it. It's that it's not working.
It's
Look,
just like
no.
what is so funny is that like it's all it takes to ruin a fucking computer is the mouse stops working because you don't have a backup. Like what are you gonna do? Fucking manually turn it off? Like how are you gonna do that, you know?
Oh, hold on.
Holy shit, dude.
Did it work?